All right, guys, so today we're in the driveway with the Civic Si and we're replacing the alternator. All right, guys, so the first thing you'll probably notice is that we are here in the driveway, and that's actually kind of lucky because I was stranded for a while with a bad alternator. So unlike a battery, when the alternator goes bad, there's nothing left to charge the car. So anything that has any kind of electrical load will diminish your battery power, and once your battery power runs out, that's it. So the nice thing about that was I was able to get it home. It was a bit of an ordeal. It took many hours, and unfortunately it was not the way it should have went. But I do have a new alternator. I have 2 batteries that I'm going to get charged up, and once I get the new alternator in and put a new battery with a new charge, everything should be good to go. So let's stop standing around talking and let's start getting to work. Alright guys, so first things first, let's figure out where the alternator is. So you can see your belt on this side, and then your alternator is right here. So you can see there's a green plug, and then there's another black boot covering a ring terminal in the back. Those are your 2 plugs. There's 3 bolts, 12mm, one on top, one on the bottom, and then there is a tensioner for the belt over here. So when you tension that back, that'll release the pressure here, and you're able to pull the belt off. The other thing we'll have to do is we'll have to remove this front beam, because that basically allows you to have some room back here where you can actually take the alternator out. But before we do all that, let's get started and remove the battery. Should be 2 10mm. Now one of mine broke and I haven't replaced it yet, so mine has an 8mm on it and a 10mm, but the stock ones are 10s. And then you should have a tie down going across, but mine of course is not there right now. So let's go ahead and get started and see where we're gonna go. Alright, now that the battery is removed, the next thing we can start working on is this radiator support bar, and then detensioning the belt, and then we can work on the alternator. Alright, so for these caps, I like to use a small flathead screwdriver or some sort of pick. Be gentle, it doesn't take much, you just want to pop them up a little bit, and then you're able to pull them out. So there's going to be 2 of these. And that should expose rest of this. Alright, so now we're going to have some 10mm bolts. Might want to remove the grill as well, but we'll slowly work our way down and go from there. Alright, so now that we got the cover removed, I'm going to go ahead and remove the grill. You can see these 2 10mm bolts right here. If we can get this removed. At least if we can get this up enough so that we can get everything loose, we should be able to get to these 10mm bolts right here and get everything else off. Alright, so after removing this top bolt here, I'm able to move back the grill, and that exposes these other 2 10mm bolts right here behind it. We have 1 more 10mm up here. We have the same 3 bolts on the other side, as well as 2 more bolts that hold on the radiator cap. And then once we get these all taken off, hopefully we'll be able to remove this whole beam, and that should give us enough room to hopefully access our alternator. We may have to remove the fan shroud, but we'll see how that goes. So. Alright guys, so you can see we have the bar removed. I just put it over here just so it's out of the way. You can see that we have a lot more room right here. The alternator, here's the back side. You can see the green plug, and then you can see the black boot here. Those are your 2 connectors, and then of course your wire is going to be attached. And then we may have to move this fan. Somebody has already replaced the stock fan with a slim fan. It seems to be working just fine. I don't have any issues with my AC or my overheating. So everything should be good. Let's go ahead and get this belt detensioned. I'll need a 14mm right here to go on that bolt right there, and then we'll get that off, and then we'll have 2 or 3 rather 12mm, and hopefully we'll be able to pull this alternator right out through this hole. Alright guys, so I got a 14mm wrench. I grabbed a second one just in case I need a little extra leverage, but I think the one should be enough. Get my 14 on here, and then I'm going to go ahead and push down, and you'll see the tension relieved on the belt. pull the belt off. Then I can let this spring back in place and remove that. Now that my belt is loose, I can go ahead and remove my alternator. I shouldn't have to move the belt completely. I should be able to just hold it kind of off to the side here, and everything should be fine because it shouldn't be in the way of me reaching any of the bolts or anything like that. So let's go ahead and let's start getting some of these bolts loose. So now that we got the belt off, I'm gonna go ahead and remove these clips. The green one's pretty self-explanatory. You're just gonna squeeze here and then pull to remove. All right, so one removed, and then the second one we're gonna remove this cover here, and then there'll be a nut holding this on. Mine happens to be a 10. I'm not sure if that's the original one, but that's what mine is, so let me go ahead and get that removed. And then the last thing will be to do is to remove the wire here, which you can do just by pressing down and removing that clip. All right, so now we got the wiring off. We got 3 more bolts, and hopefully we'll be able to pull it right out. I'm gonna start with the bottom 2 bolts. There's one down here and one on the other side over here. They just look like the more difficult bolts, so I like starting with the more difficult bolts and then working my way into the easier ones. So go ahead and crack these loose. One loose. 2 loose. All right, so the third bolt is right up here on top. So this one's pretty easy to get to. All right, now let's pull this out. Alright guys, so now that it's out, one thing I do like to do is I always want to compare. So when I look at them, make sure their mounting bolts on the new one are in the same spot, make sure your plugs are the same, and make sure the pulleys are obviously in the same spot, same size, that kind of deal. Make sure everything looks right before you go ahead and put it in, and maybe realize that, you know what, it's either not the same or it doesn't work or something like that. So another thing you can do, this bracket right here does not exist on the new one, so I can transfer that over. You can see it looks like it's just like an 8mm nut. I'll go ahead and get that swapped over, and then we'll go ahead and we'll get the new one right back where it went. So let's do it. Alright guys, so as you can see, everything's back together. These push pins basically just push in. Don't push them in before you put it in. You want it to be pulled all the way out, or well, not all the way out, but out as far as you can. Push it in and then push the button back down on either side. Each side of this radiator support frame is going to have 3 bolts. There's going to be one on the back, one on the front, and then one on the top. You'll also have 1 bolt on either side for your condenser, for your AC system. And then you'll have 2 bolts for your radiator cap. And that should pretty much do it. Obviously, of course, including the 2 bolts up top. that held on the grill section of the bumper. So as you can see, the battery's still not in. I'm still waiting on that to charge. The new alternator is in, so you can see that here. See the belt's back on. Once the battery's all charged up, we can throw that in and then we'll test everything out. Well, I guess this is the moment of truth. We're back in the car, everything's put back together. I'm gonna go ahead and start the car. Hopefully our battery light doesn't come on, which is usually the indication of the battery not being charged. So let's give it a shot. Well, apparently my battery is not charged enough. Yep. All right, well done. So, let's try this one more time. All right, guys, so one more shot at this. Let's go ahead and start the car and make sure none of our check engine light or any of our charging lights or anything like that comes on. All right, so everything started, everything is all charged up. So I don't see any of the lights, obviously, except for like the brake lights on and my seatbelt. But other than that, everything else looks like it's good. So let's go ahead and check with a multimeter to make sure we're getting about 14 to 14.5 volts out of the alternator. You can check your voltage across the battery. So anything less than that, you're probably looking at maybe like 12.5 or less. 13.5 plus is probably good. 12.5 or less means you're just running off the battery. So ultimately, that's what you're looking for. No engine lights, no charging lights, particularly the battery light, and double check with a multimeter. So once we do that, I think we're just about at the point where we can wrap this up and call it a day. All right, guys, I got my multimeter set up here so you guys can see it. Make sure you're set to DC voltage. Go positive to negative, and we're getting 13.8, which I think is perfectly good, especially at idle here. It's warming up a little bit, so the idle has dropped a little bit, but definitely under a load, you might see a 14 or 14.2, somewhere in there, but 13.8 is definitely good. Anything above about 13.5 should be good enough to charge the battery up. So I think at this point, we're at a place where we want to call it good, and we can go ahead and wrap it up for the day. All right, guys, well, I got the hood shut now, so that means it's ready for a test drive, and I think I'm ready to call this a wrap. So I'm gonna test drive the car, make sure everything's good, but ultimately, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video.